All right, guys, good morning. It's 8 o'clock every day, Angel. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So, wow, getting a haircut tomorrow. It's been way too long. It's time for a haircut. It's 67 degrees out in Florida, which means it's a beautiful day. Hopefully get outside a little bit today. Don't want to watch the market all day. With such a beautiful day out in Florida, you don't get 67 degrees very often here, so I got to take advantage of that. Monday, another week. I think a lot of us have been patiently waiting for today, all Sunday, waiting for the market to open, watching futures. So futures, to leeway into that, futures are slightly down this morning, but totally understandable. I actually think I actually want to see us move lower in the pre-market. I hope to see some type of pullback in the morning and then give us another opportunity to the upside. I love seeing those morning panics. Almost all last week, the opportunities were off those morning panics. So if you guys can have the self-control to not trade for the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes you get some very nice opportunities off those washouts in the morning. With those pushes higher later in the day. I really like that style rather than stressing out in the morning trying to catch the big moves. Different styles. So we'll see what happens. Giants are basically unwatchable. Yeah, how'd you like that? Giants are god awful, man. It's really tough to watch. I hope sometime in the future I'll be able to watch my New York Giants. So feel so bullish. So yeah, I mean, one thing I wanna make clear is as good as this market's looking, always come into the day as unbiased as you can. You can have a direction that you'd like to see and that you can game plan around. But guys, I wouldn't be surprised to see some pullbacks along the way, and we'll go ahead and talk through some of the technicals today. If you watched my video yesterday, you already have a good idea of what I'm looking at, but let's go ahead and do an update on the futures on some stocks with the price action that we are seeing this morning. So, good morning to everyone. Thank you again for being here. If you want, press that like button real early so you don't have to do it later. I'd appreciate that. Let's go ahead and look at the schedule today. So, futures, as always, Nasdaq, Dow, S&P. We'll look at all three. We'll get an idea of what's going on. Price action this morning. See where we can expect some small dips to, where we can expect potential resistance, potential support. We'll go ahead and look at it all. Earnings calendar. So, big earnings calendar this week, massive week. And one thing that we'll go through and sort of talk about is how we have not had an earnings season come around when stocks are not at all-time highs. So over the last 4 to maybe even 8 quarters, anything post-March 2020, for the most part, after the recovery has happened, we have got earnings that come out every quarter when stocks are basically at all-time highs, when the Nasdaq has been at all-time highs. And that is why I believe you have seen a lot of underperformance on earnings, because stocks are so high that basically perfection is priced into their earnings reports, that anything worse than perfection causes a little bit of downside, on the market. Profit taking today, 200-point drop. Listen to reason. I know you're our bear in the chat, but I got to tell you, a 143-point drop on the Dow is less than 1%. So I think we're just fine, but we'll see what happens. Of course, you could be right. I know you're relatively bearish in this market, but I would not wake up this morning and start panicking or start thinking that downside is inevitable because of a 0.3% dip on the Nasdaq that is basically you can't even see it on the longer term time frames. So what I was saying is, we have not seen an earnings season come in with stocks off of their highs. So we have a lot of stocks that have pulled back off their highs coming into earnings. So there could be some opportunities. Netflix and Tesla, which are approaching, are both not quite that far off their highs, so I don't really know if I would consider those two. But we have stocks like Apple off their highs, Roku heavily off its highs, Square and PayPal off their highs pretty well. Nvidia still about 5% off its highs. So it should be interesting to see how these stocks react when they're not at all-time highs as their earnings come out. So that's something that I am definitely going to be watching this earnings season, get an idea for what happens when the reports come out. So earnings, Tesla, Netflix, we'll look at those two, do some analysis on them, talk a little bit about their earnings. Affirm, shout out to Robin if you're here. Robin called out, and I totally agree with the analysis, a killer level here on Affirm. 145 has pulled back to it. It's a level that it's been holding very well. So I think Affirm is a very, very big watch today. AFRM. Upstart, starting to fall this morning. I think it got a downgrade. Just saw someone talk about that. Upstart. Hold on. I saw it this morning. Yeah, downgrade. And then some downside this morning. So Upstart, I want to look at the key levels with you guys today. Levels that we need to watch to the downside as support. XLF, so the financial ETF, want to keep an eye on the banks this week. Keep an eye on financials this week. As you guys know, I have a Goldman Sachs play, and I think seeing how the banks perform this week is going to be important. So let's make sure and watch that. Snap. Snap reports earnings this week as well. That is on, we'll go ahead and pull up the calendar in a second. That's on Thursday. Big level on Snap, $80 level. Snap's been killing it, man. Ever since their last earnings, they have not given back the big move. It's continuously holding higher. So I want to keep an eye on Snap. I mean, Snap could very well be a $100 stock after earnings comes out on Thursday. So let's keep an eye on this thing. And then finally, is there somewhere you can go daily that tells you price? I don't know, Mr. TNT. There's probably some stuff online. I should know that, but I don't quite know. If anyone knows in the chat of a place that shows all the upgrades and downgrades in the morning, I know there's somewhere. I haven't really been familiar with it. So Coin, we'll look at Coin, guys. You guys know Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto in general has been on a nice little rally here. Bitcoin above 60, Ethereum approaching 4,000. So Coin has been obviously getting that momentum. So we'll look at Coin. We'll probably also throw in Mara during that time. So that's our schedule for today. After that, the members who are members of the channel, we'll go ahead and let me go ahead and put that in the chat for you. We'll go ahead and do the tickers that you want to look at. So let me go ahead and post that link here in the members only real quick. Bear with me, guys. All right. There we go. Members. Priority members. All right, guys. If you are a member of the channel, go ahead and you guys can click on that. You guys can go ahead and click on that pinned post, and you can put your tickers in there if you'd like today. Let's go ahead and get started. So futures. Let's start with the Nasdaq. Let me move this. Get us prepared here. All right. Nasdaq. NQ. All right, guys. So this is the daily chart on the Nasdaq, right? And we know this is your long-term uptrend, right? We have this uptrend from November of last year. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We tapped it twice here in the recent trend, and we got a very nice higher low off of it. A very nice push off that level. So long-term uptrend, nice hold. 1, 2, 100 SMA, similar, pretty close to holding as well. But I definitely like this long-term uptrend hold. You guys can see that very, very clear. Now, like my video yesterday, we talked about the potential resistance here at the 50 SMA. So that is sort of what we're seeing this morning. We're seeing that 50 SMA act as a little bit of resistance here. So do we get a pullback? Possible. Do we get a pullback to this uptrend right here, which will make Listen to Reason come to the chat and tell us that he told us so, potentially. And if we do get if we do get this pullback on the Nasdaq market, I am still very bearish on this market because You get a pullback, you get another buying opportunity at this long-term uptrend, you create another higher low, you bounce off of it, you're someone that should be buying here instead of panicking, and then you get your pushback higher, right? Total possibility. So let's see, do we get the pullback at the 50 SMA today? Do we start to see a little bit of weakness here on this market? Now, there's another level that I would be watching if we start to get a pullback. So if you have to drop this down to, I think, the hourly chart. Actually, no, I think I see it better on the 4-hour. So here on the 4-hour, if we get a pullback, then if it's a smaller pullback than all the way to the trend line, I would be watching for this retest at 15,000. This 15,000 level looks very interesting to me. One, it's a psychological level, and two, you guys can see this was some very strong previous resistance on Thursday and Friday 2 weeks ago. If we get this pullback to 15K and we start to hold it as support, that could be a very nice little break and retest for a little bit of a smaller pullback. Now, I don't know if we break that 15K, we'll probably start to mess around with this area above this uptrend. If we come down to the 15K and start to consolidate and push off of it, that, in my opinion, is a very bullish sign. To see a break and retest here of a very strong psychological resistance, which could turn into support here at 15,000 on the NQ. So I would definitely be watching that 15K pullback this week. That could be a very nice break and retest level here on the NQ, 15K. Or if it starts to unravel a little bit more, guys, I would personally not panic and not go crazy until you see a break of this downtrend. If we start to see the break of this downtrend, let's say 14.4s, 14.3s, then that's a little bit of a different story. Then my my thesis for the market holding higher lows, making higher highs, then my thesis is invalidated. There's nothing else I can say about that. I would want to see this level, this uptrend hold into the next few months. I don't want to see us drop back below this uptrend. So uptrend, key support in my opinion for the bulls. 15,000 would be a great hold. A little break and retest here would be fantastic. And then if we just go back to the daily chart, if we do get that 15K, if we do get that panic now, worry, this guy. 15K, if we do get the break above the 50 SMA, that would be big. 15,150, guys. So to the upside, we talked about the downside levels. To the upside, guys, 15,150. That is the big breakout zone. I think if we get a break above 15,150 on the NQ, I think we are definitely in a little bit of clear here. So that's the NQ. Those are your levels to the downside and a key level to the upside. Let's go ahead and check out the ES. So the ES, nice break above the long-term downtrend, nice inverse head and shoulders. We talked about this on yesterday's video. Nice push through the 50 SMA. Now it looks like we're starting to pull back this morning, just about 0.3%. I would like to see a hold at that 50 SMA. If anyone if you're not comfortable with a pullback after 3 major green days like this, then you have to sort of get a better idea of how this market trades, right? The market is never going to go straight up for a week straight. There's going to be small pullback days to accumulate buyers, to pick up more people, to see where the strength is to the downside. Now, of course, you have 3 very big green days on the ES, and I think a pullback here is quite healthy. So 50 SMA on the daily chart is at 44.30. So if we go to 44.30, that is right where the 50 SMA here on the daily chart, that is where I'd want to see us hold. It'd be nice to see us break that 50 SMA, pull back, and hold it as support. I would really like to see that. So if I go to the shorter term time frames, that is right here, 44.30. Let me go to the 4-hour. Now we can see this a little bit more clear. So here's the 4-hour. So 44.30 right here on the ES. Would like to see that hold. That's the 50 SMA. If we don't get that 50 SMA hold, then I'd want to see some of these previous highs hold. So right around here around 44.17, that is a previous high here on the ES. So those are some levels to the downside I'm watching. 44.30, which is a 50 SMA, and then previous high of 44.17. let's just call it 44.20 on the ES. Those are the downside levels. To the upside, you just want to see, you sort of want to see this little top breakout. So you can see we have a previous top here around 44.70. We started to reject there on Friday into today. So you can see that 44.70 high 1 and 2. You want to see that. You want to see a breakout of that if you are bullish here. So that's the ES. Those are the levels I'd be watching today. And finally, the Dow. Dow has been obviously the strongest of the trio. So we can see inverse head and shoulders. Nice. I don't like to use QQQ and SPY Hans because there's major gaps on the chart. You can't really tell. You can't really tell what's going to be, going on. I guess you can say it'll fill the gap, which is right where the 50 SMA is, which is the same level as we were watching on the ES. But yeah, I don't like looking at the SPY and QQQ because there's just there's so many gaps on the chart, personally. But anyways, Dow, you guys can see 1, 2, 3, nice inverse head and shoulders there, pushing higher, breaking through 35,000. In my opinion, I would like to either see the 35,000 hold, or if we get a little bit weaker under 35,000, I want to see these previous highs here hold. So all in this 34.8050 level, 34.850, all in these previous highs. Would like to see those hold. So for the Dow today, 35,000. Let's see if we can hold above it. And then if we cannot, let's see if this 34,850 previous highs hold as well. So you have 35, you have 34,850. And then to the upside, it's pretty obvious, guys. You just want to see a break above these recent highs for the upside. So that's the Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq. Of course, it's. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Of course, it is very possible, guys, to see, pullbacks along the way. I personally just do not see, what would cause us to break new lows. I just don't quite see that just yet. I like the bullish formations we're seeing. As long as we start to hold previous retest levels, now that we have made higher highs, we now have the previous highs to hold as support. So for example, here's the one on the NQ, 15K. On the ES, previous highs of 44.20 and 44.30. And then you have your previous highs on the Dow of 34.850 and a psychological level at 35,000. So we'll see what happens. Definitely can be, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to these people, man. Listen, you're just a little bit funny guy. But yeah, I don't think anyone expects the market to go straight up from this point. I think there will be definitely pullbacks along the way, and I think every single pullback that you see should be some type of buying opportunity, in my opinion. So that is my analysis on the futures. Earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the earnings calendar. So it is right here. So here is earnings count. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Why is it so? All right, hopefully you guys can see that. Whoops. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. All right, there's our earnings calendar. So today, I don't see anything of much importance today. Looks like a lot of banks, a couple banks, nothing that crazy. Tomorrow before open, Johnson & Johnson, P&G, those should be pretty important for the Dow. After close tomorrow, Netflix, United Airlines, that'll be for the Dow. WD-40, that's funny. Interactive Brokers, that's about it for tomorrow. Wednesday before open, Verizon. Nasdaq, it's just a Nasdaq company. It's not like earnings on the Nasdaq futures. And then Tesla, Las Vegas Sands, which I actually have a December play in Las Vegas Sands, so I'm very interested to see what happens there. IBM, Tesla's going to be important. Before open Thursday, AT&T, American Airlines, Crocs, which has funny enough has been a play that I've been watching lately. Is Crocs, Southwest, Ally, Blackstone, and then Thursday, Snap, Intel, Chipotle, Sam Adams, some big ones. And then Friday, American Express, Honeywell. So not the biggest tech. There's going to be one week where it's like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, all the big boys. But this is still a pretty big week here, guys. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on this. So let's go ahead and look at Netflix and Tesla. I think those are the two that you guys are probably the most interested in. So let's start off with Tesla. Tesla has been on an incredible run here, just continuously moving higher. I definitely am in some way regretful of not trusting this uptrend a little bit more than I did. I have shares of Tesla, so I am happy about the uptrend. I'm definitely taking advantage of it, but I probably should have been a little bit more bullish on Tesla on this very nice uptrend here. I've had a hard time trusting Tesla as a trade, so I've been looking elsewhere. But Tesla has proven to continue to benefit the people that are bullish here. So in the last 5 days, huge moves on Tesla. On Friday, one of the bigger moves of this entire run. So very, very big move here. This 880 level is a little concerning. I would probably not expect it to break that 880 before earnings. So there's your 880 resistance. And then, of course, guys, psychological levels 900. That'll be a very big level, 900, as we start to push higher. But I think at some point here, guys, I think you have to expect some type of pullback here after such a straight up move over the last 5 to 6 days. There's got to be some kind of pullback here somewhere. Maybe the rally continues into earnings. I don't quite know. Tesla's been very hard to judge lately. Just a lot of choppiness, but in the recent trend, the last 5 days, very strong. And, there could definitely be some continuation, but I would also like to see, I think for the health of this move, I think you'd like to see something to the downside to pick up more buyers. So maybe back down to these highs of 798, maybe 800. If you got that retest of 800, I think that would be actually very, very, very bullish. I think a lot of people would look at 800 as a buying opportunity. So it would be great to see that pull back to 800, start to get some consolidation, and then try to get our push higher. That would be something I would definitely be interested in. But buying up here after 5 days of green, it's just really not really my style. If some of you guys want to chase that momentum, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It's not really. I don't want to break my rules and go out and trade Tesla after missing 5 days of upside. So I would definitely, I'm definitely going to be looking for a pullback at some point here on Tesla. We'll see if it happens. And then just, maybe we continue to run into earnings. Earnings are on Wednesday after close. So yeah, if we get that 793, 800 sort of pullback area, I think I actually agree that could be, this little area over here on all this previous resistance. That would be a very nice opportunity if we got, something down here to 793, 800 area. All in this little area here. So yeah, I saw that Colin Powell. And it said, "Oh, rest in peace, sir." Colin Powell. So, that is Tesla. That's what I'm going to be watching. Let's see what I'm probably not going to play Tesla into earnings personally. Not really my style again. Netflix. I thought Netflix would be a little bit stronger here. It's not quite getting the flag breakout that I was expecting. So we had a little bit of a push here through this flag that was starting to form on Netflix. This is a little bit sort of like right here. We had these previous highs, 1, 2, 3. We started to break through that here. But on Friday, we were very weak. Even with a decently strong market on Friday, a very weak move on Netflix. So Netflix, I think, is just maybe going to sort of chop sideways until earnings. Earnings are tomorrow after close. Last earnings, Netflix made a very big move, right? So if we go out, let's go out to the daily chart. We know last earnings, Netflix, after, it was a little bit of a delayed reaction. But we sort of moved down off earnings, consolidated, and then this is the move you got after. So a little bit of a delayed reaction here. Does Netflix earnings hold this stock up after this massive run? That is the problem I have with plays. You guys know Netflix has been very strong. You're right, Hans. I mean, the Squid Game thing could be what helps this out on earnings. I'm just very interested to see. I would. It's hard for me to buy. It's hard for me to take earnings plays when stocks are how much? About 27-28% higher from their last earnings. It has to be perfection for Netflix. If Netflix is not perfection, I think you get pullbacks. But we'll see. I mean, I like this 617, 620 level on Netflix right here. This is previous highs. This is a level that I've been watching for some time now. So I'm going to continue to watch this level. If I start to see pullbacks to that area, 617, 620, I'll get a little bit more interested here. Maybe if it goes even deeper. But for me, I don't like taking those types of risks, those gambles into earnings. So, I'm just going to wait and see what happens here on Netflix post earnings. If we get the continuation move, if this thing starts to move again, there's going to be trading opportunities post earnings. I don't think there's a need to get yourself to YOLO into this thing pre-earnings. So we're either going to get a nice continuation move, or you don't get perfection on Netflix earnings and you get a nice pullback. It's a tough one. I don't see much of I don't see that much opportunity of taking Netflix into ER at all-time highs, basically at all-time highs. That's a tough one for me. So let's see what happens on Netflix into earnings. I'm definitely interested though, like how they talk about Squid Game, how the analysts take that, what Netflix CEO has to say about it. It's very interesting. Interesting earnings. I think a lot of people are going to be very interested with how many people are, into Netflix, into that Squid Game show, with a lot of talk about it. It's going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be listening in here on Netflix for sure. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be watching. 620 is my key level as we approach earnings. So that's Netflix, that's Tesla. Let's go ahead and look into Affirm. Affirm, I really like this level here on Affirm. Now, we have to be very bullish to hold up at this level because we're pretty up there. I mean, in general, if we zoom out, right? If we don't zoom in just into 30-minute, if we zoom out, we definitely are. We're up here. We've been pretty extended. We've been on a nice little bull rally, which doesn't mean you can't go higher. But if we go to the hourly chart, I really like this previous retest of 145. We've talked about this multiple times on Affirm. Affirm likes to hold previous highs. So previous highs, very nice hold, and then you get your big push. Now, you have new highs here at 145, and look what Affirm has been doing. Every time it pulls back to 145, this could be a very nice hold. So this is how you approach Affirm today. You be patient. You don't touch it until you really prove this support. If 10-15 minutes goes by and Affirm is not doing anything and it starts to dip under 145, then this is no trade to the upside. You want to wait to see how strong this 145 really is when the market opens. So we'll see if 145 can hold up, can consolidate, maybe start to push higher. But if it does hold 145, start to catch some momentum, maybe start to break some of these previous highs from last week, this could be very nice again. I mean, you never know. I mean, Affirm could definitely start to do the exact same thing it did when it starts to hold previous highs and just continue to stair step higher here. So this is at least a very big watch for me today. I'm not going to be someone that jumps into this thing right when market opens. But yeah, volume's dropping. Good point, Claudia. So it's a watch. I wouldn't say, go with your whole account as soon as market opens. We definitely know this is slightly overextended. We definitely know, the volume has been decreasing, but I do not want to ignore this 145 potential hold like it did in the past, not only here, but also if we zoom out a little bit more, also right here. So it's done it 3 times here. So here's the big one, here's a little bit of smaller one, and then here's your higher one. So we'll see. Can it hold up? That's what I'll be watching today. Just wanted to share that with you guys today. So that is Affirm. Next, Upstart. So we're seeing that downside on Upstart today. We're seeing that downside. So if we go to the hourly chart, actually, you know what? I think it was on the 15. Yeah, 15, a little bit easier to see. So here's 15. 15-minute chart. We got the big red candle this morning off of a downgrade, I believe. Yeah, downgrade. Bank of America. Downgrade, underperformed. Yeah, so we got the downgrade here from B of A. So 373 is where we're at. Now, this 373 is an important level. Why do I say that? That is because you have this previous structure point in the market. You see this little pullback back here on Thursday of last week. Got this pullback, starting to hold it right here. After this key level, around 373, the next level I'd be watching is this pullback here. You guys can see some structure in the market here at 368. So that would be where I'd be looking, 368. After that, I'd be looking at these previous highs, 365. You guys can see these previous highs on Thursday, 365. So those are my short-term levels that I am watching today, 373, 368, 365. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you'll be able to see these even better. So you can see these previous highs? Want to see if it holds there. These previous lows, see if it holds there. And then right here, this structure point in the market, this little pullback, that is where we are holding right now. So let's see this morning, do we hold these levels? If not, you definitely need to be watching Thursday's open. That would be ugly to get above Thursday's open. If we start to unravel there, then I think this move ultimately, if we really start to give up Thursday's open, I would assume this move starts to, sort of move back towards this 290-300. So we never, I don't think everyone expected Upstart to continue as crazy it has been. It's definitely overbought. I agree. Could definitely use pullbacks. The real play was back here where we caught it on the bull flag. This was the play back here, right? Catching that move, taking your profits like we did last week. I would have not recommended anyone to hold Upstart into this week. I mean, you got to be taking some profits here. If you get a move like this ever, guys, in trading, you got to take some profits. I mean, this is more than you can ask for. This is a 35% move in a week. So big move. Would love to see pullbacks. I think pullbacks create big opportunities. So I would love to see Upstart start to pull back to some of these levels. Maybe start to give some holds, and then start to push back higher. So Upstart, little weak today, guys. You could watch the downside. You guys know how Upstart is. It's very resilient, so just be a little bit careful. But maybe there's some downside here. So let's see. Just quickly going to review the XLF, guys, this morning. So daily chart, here's the XLF, breaking new highs. Very nice. Very nice daily chart breakout. We're just about flat in the pre-market today. So I like the XLF. I want to see that continue. That's really what I want to just continue to watch that XLF. The big one that I'm watching, though, today for the banks is Goldman Sachs. And Goldman Sachs is up hitting new highs this pre-market. I have a play that's up about 40% here on GS. So we took the November 19th 420 calls last week, and very, very nice. Very, very nice. Citizen, I wouldn't, flooding your head with people that say there's a correction in 2022. It's a waste of time, man. It's a waste of time. I could tell you there's a correction coming in 2024, or I'll tell you it's coming in 3 weeks, or I'll tell you it's coming in 2 weeks. It's just, it depends on what kind of person you are. If you're someone that wants to try to trade this market on an intraday basis, I would not be flooding your head with that type of garbage. Watch the charts, trade how the charts look. You can't predict the future. If you try to predict the future, you're just going to, be timid. You're not going to take plays. You're going to flood your mind. You're going to get yourself all crazy. Play what the charts show you. Cut losses when it doesn't look right. Play it when it looks good. You can't overcomplicate this. So if I had, all these different conspiracy theories in my head on an intraday basis, I would be, terrified to even be in this market. So Stop listening to people that, claim that the market's going to correct in 2023, 2022. The market will correct, right? I think we all know the market is going to fall at some time. Me personally, I have a lot of cash saved because I think the market will fall. The market will fall. Everyone knows that the market will fall. No one in this chat should argue that there is going to be a pullback in this market. It's going to happen. Trying every day coming into the market and worrying about when that day is, and it's sort of like worrying about when the world ends. Like, are you going to come into your day every day and worry about when the earth blows up? Earth's going to blow up at some point, right? The sun's going to blow up. Earth's going to be a big fireball. We're all going to be dead. Do you come into your day every day worrying about that? I don't, because there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm not going to come into this market and be worried about when the market pulls back. It's just not. So that's my answer to you. Please don't, come into this market every day and worry about what's going to happen when the market, when is this market going to pull back? You'll start to see it. When the earth starts to crack, when we start to have, volcanoes explode and everything's starting to blow up, we start to know that maybe the earth's about to blow up. Well, when we start to see the market pull back, start to crack resistance levels, start to really start to get killed, then we know the market's probably pulling back, right? And we have to react to it. So that's how I would approach this. I think it's tough to come into this market every day and be like, oh my God, I think the market's about to really get killed here. And then you just sort of, your emotions get all messed up. You can't take plays. Yeah, we're talking about the earth exploding like the day after tomorrow or something like that. So yeah. So that's what I would say to that question. Just come into this market, read the technicals, come in and just see what's happening intraday. You're going to have time to react to a market destruction. If we ever pull back 20, 30%, you're going to be able to react to it. So that's what I would say to that. So here we go. Goldman Sachs, back to Goldman Sachs. Want to see that 410 break today. I would love to see 410 today. I know it's a little bit ambitious, but I want to see if there's some more financial strength. So that is what I'll be watching. Love this bull flag, and I love the play that I have right now on GS. Next is Snap. Snap earnings. Big 80 level here. Very big 80 level here. So right here, you have 80, and I'm very interested to see what happens here at 80. This has been a very tough level for Snap in the past. Maybe earnings is what, sort of does this. So Wednesday Earth will blow up. Great. Very interesting since last earnings. You guys can see big gap up. We never filled that gap on Snap. Never filled the gap on Snap. It rhymes. So very interesting to see that. We never pulled back to the 63, 64 area. Which will be very, very interesting. Stop being negative. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to. Listen, you're the one that's the negative Nancy. So right here, 63, 64 would be interesting to see if we ever fill that gap. It does not look like we are right now, but does earnings do that? Now, we don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe this pullback is what, is maybe earnings is what gives us that pullback. So if earnings does give us that pullback, I think that's actually quite an opportunity. So I'm definitely going to be watching this 64 level into earnings. If Snap just continues higher off earnings, gets another very big gap up, this could be a $100 stock here in the next few months. So I'm very interested to see. I'm not going to play Snap earnings. This thing's too sideways. I mean, you're basically 100% guessing if you're playing Snap earnings. I have no idea what happens here. So I'm interested to see. I'm going to play the continuation either way. But this is a very big moment for Snap. This earnings coming up is a very big moment for Snap. So that is what I'm going to be watching. Finally, Coinbase. And then we'll get into some of the names that you guys want to watch today. Here's the 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And these are some levels I'm watching here. So every time Coinbase starts to push above 280, it starts to hit some very, very tough resistance. So you guys can see 280 right here, very tough level. We were able to break that. 288 is this high right here, not quite getting above there. And then finally 294 is this level, this previous high from back on August 11th. So this whole area over the last 4 months, and less than that, about 2-3 months, has been very tough for coin. This entire zone between 280 and 295 has been a very tough level for coin. So, you know, you're going to have to keep an eye on cryptos, see how Bitcoin is doing, Ethereum's doing, see how that whole market is performing, because that will directly correlate to Coinbase here. But I personally am someone that is very, I would not be looking to, you know, buy this thing into this level until I see maybe this break and retest here. I don't like taking upside plays into such heavy resistance here. Not really that great of risk to reward. You know, if I'm wrong, this thing comes back down to 225 again. If I'm right, maybe I get this push. So I would be, you know, I would be very careful of this area here. Yeah, I think you're right, Valentine. I think a lot of people are sitting in this, bag holding it from the IPO. And, you know, if you're in from back here at 280s, maybe people are starting to think, okay, let me go ahead and unload some shares here. I'm back to break even. I've been waiting for about a year now. So it's time for me to go ahead and break even, right? There's going to be a lot of selling in this area. So I'm a little bit cautious. I'll see what happens. If Bitcoin goes to 70, 80, 100,000, then of course coin is going to be, you know, back into the 300s. So that's what I'll be looking at. All right. So that is what I had for you today, guys. But we're going to go ahead quickly and go over some more stocks right now. So don't head out just yet. We're going to go over and do the member submissions. So if you could, wow, 711 people. I think that might be, is 711 our highest? It might be our highest. 717 might be our highest. So if you guys could, before you head out, if you start heading out, press that like button. I would really appreciate that. Let me see. Okay, I gotta change this this form here. All right, so we have quite a bit of names here. Looks like we went over a few of them already, though. All right, so here's what we have today, guys, from the members. We have Tesla, Snap. We've gone over them, so make sure to just go back and look at our live stream if you missed those. J&J, Netflix, Ally, BA, Nike, IWM, Microsoft. We'll go ahead and look at those right now. J&J, Ally, BA, Nike, IWM, Microsoft. And then we'll see if we have some more time after that. So if you guys want to get your tickers looked at every single day, you can consider being a member of this YouTube channel. You press that join button down below, and you can get this access to this. Also, I have to look at Facebook. I told a subscriber that I would look at Facebook for him today, so I got to add Facebook in there. So I'll go ahead and look at FB. So FB, J&J. You know, I like this little area here. I will say that. You have this little 158, 157 area right here. You guys can see that. Previous lows turning into support. A little bit of support here at the 100 SMA. That's nice as well. But you have earnings. So for me personally, this is what I would do. I would wait for earnings, see if it's bullish. If it's bullish and you get the bounce off of this 157, 158, then I think you get your continuation, right? I think you get your continuation if J&J has good earnings and holds this 157, right? That's what I'd be watching. Because if you get into this here, looking for this swing trade off of this nice support, and earnings come out and they're really bad, and you're just going to get stopped out, and you just took it's pretty much an unnecessary risk there, right? So I would wait for earnings. If they're bearish, then, you know, look to see if there's some more support to the downside. But if they're bullish, this could be a very nice start of a great support hold at 147, get a nice earnings report, and then you can get your upside. So that's what I'd be looking for on J&J. Of course, if this is for a long-term portfolio, I would never say that this is a, I would totally be adding J&J shares at these levels, right? I mean, I think J&J is a great, great long-term stock, and any, pullback from the highs of almost 13% could be a nice play. I don't quite like how much J&J has been correlated to vaccine news. I don't know how correlated it has been. I just don't like that they're in the whole. I don't like trading biotechs. Personal opinion, you don't have to agree with it. I just don't like trading biotechs. And J&J has been getting into the whole, vaccine stuff. So we'll see what happens. Ally Financial. I think for Ally, you just need to watch XLF, watch the banks. If the banks are strong, I would expect Ally to break new highs here. 56.61. If the banks continue, if you really get that XLF push, then I think Ally continues. I mean, Ally's been on a fantastic run here. Ally Bank, Ally Financial. There's been a lot of positivity around fintech. There's been a lot of positivity around small banks, lending platforms. Buy now, pay laters. Affirm, Upstart, SoFi, all the financial the banks. So if you like Ally, so be it. I personally like other banks better than Ally here. I think you're better off playing like a JP Morgan, a Goldman Sachs, a Morgan Stanley, some of the better banks, a Bank of America, which has been on fire. Wells Fargo's been breaking out of this flag right here, guys. Wells Fargo flag breakout. So, I think there's better banks to be looking at. But if you like Ally personally, yes, I think financials, if they continue, then you get a nice push on Ally. Boeing just continues to disappoint me every single time I look at it. I was hoping to see this breakout here on BA. I was hoping to try to take a play on this trade, on this breakout. But once again, Boeing fails the 100 SMA, fails the downtrend, and the member wrote, Boeing puts question mark. So, I would rather be taking Boeing puts. If you came into this move, into this push, into the downtrend with that anticipation of it not breaking through and being bearish on the push, then I think you got the right entry on Boeing puts. At this time, after 5, 6, 7, almost 7 red days in a row, for me personally, I'm not going to BS you guys. Me personally, I would not take Boeing puts after seeing 7 days of red on downside. If I caught it here or even caught it, back on maybe Monday or Tuesday of last week, then yes, I think great play. But here, you have you're starting to get into some congestion here on the market. You have some previous lows that could hold support. You have this support down here at 206. So maybe some downside this morning. Looks like there's some news again that comes out. Probably some news on Boeing again this morning, looking pretty bearish. So can this be a downside, a quick downside play today? Absolutely. I think I was thinking of more of like a swing put to the downside. Possible. Maybe it's a day trade today. But definitely a nasty rejection here of the 100 SMA and the downtrend. Boeing continues to underperform and just not give what the people want to see. Nike. This is a spectacular trade here off of this 145. If you missed this 145, I personally would be getting to the point where I don't have much interest. Eric, I'll go ahead and look at Amazon. If I miss this, this is around the point where I don't have much interest in a play, unless maybe we get above this 50 SMA. So you can see 50 SMA, you have this 160. You see this 50 SMA here? That 160, 50 SMA, if it gets above there, maybe I'll look at this again. But guys, you can't, look how beautiful this play was. Previous retest level, 145. Look at the move lower. Look at the hold at 145. This trade, if you caught this thing back at 145, anticipating a hold of this retest level, this was a beautiful trade. So, I think you're going to find a little bit of resistance here at the 50. I think you're a little bit late. And sometimes what I like to do, which usually saves me money, is I just accept that I am late. And if I'm not in Nike, I'm late. I'm late here. So this is one where I'd accept that I missed it. I'll keep an eye on it, see if I get another pullback, maybe another opportunity. But right now, I think just a little bit late to Nike. But, let's see. Does it continue? Does it start to break out of this downtrend? Does it break the 50 SMA? I would keep your eyes on that. IWM just continues to be sideways, guys. I really don't have much to say about IWM. It just continues to stay sideways. You're just going to have to watch this on an intraday basis. Microsoft, yeah, I think Microsoft is going to be the first to break all-time highs. Microsoft is probably the strongest stock on the market. It's unbelievable. Microsoft's an awesome stock. You buy shares of that thing whenever you want. It's you've never been not rewarded for buying shares of Microsoft at any time in the past. So let's see. I would definitely just watch the all-time highs this week, 305.85. Me personally, again, guys, I would be a buyer back here at this gap fill where we've been watching it for almost 2 weeks. Been posting in the chart, in the chat. So this is another move where I'd want to probably say that I missed it and then maybe look for, maybe a little bit of a break and retest of previous highs. I don't know if I'd be someone that's trading this into all-time highs. It's not really my style. There's definitely other tech plays that are off their highs that could have opportunity. All right, Facebook, and then Amazon, and then I got to get out of here. So Facebook, the one thing I'll tell you about Facebook is it's having a lot of macro issues, a lot of headline risks, a lot of things going on with the company, and it's definitely been affecting the stock because it is not reacting to the Nasdaq dip or bounce. There has been no reaction since the Nasdaq has started to bounce on Facebook. So that simple fact right there that I just said is making me not have any interest in Facebook right now. I need to wait until I see a change in the behavior of this stock. I need to wait until I see this thing start to push higher with some really good strength, because right now, guys, I just don't see the it's like trying to motivate someone that just doesn't have it. They don't have they don't have it in them. And right now, Facebook just does not have it in it to start to, get motivated here for a push higher. So I need to see at least a 330 break. That 330 level is going to be crucial. And then I need to see at least some type of uptrend that starts to form, because right now, I am definitely not a buyer of Facebook here. I know it's a potential opportunity, but I would rather take Facebook. I would rather take Facebook here with the confirmation of this bottom, looking for, here. I'd rather take that than take it here and watch Facebook do this, right? So I need a little bit of confirmation here. I'm not a buyer of Facebook just yet. I know it did hold the 200 SMA. I know it did, but there's nothing going on. It's not moving. So I need to see something happen there. So that's that. And finally, Amazon. I think Amazon's a good watch today, guys. You guys saw this ridiculous, obnoxious move on Friday. I made about $1,400 in this move. Some of the members made way more than that. So congratulations, guys. You're probably mostly in this chat, but congratulations if you caught this. But yeah, Amazon. Let's just watch to see if there's continuation here. All I'll say is that it bounced beautifully off 3,200. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful hold there. I would be looking for Amazon back up at 35.42 if the market continues to find strength. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did, let's see if we can get the 400 likes. I don't even know what we're at, but 400, we've never gotten 400. So maybe 400 likes, that'd be awesome. If you guys like this stream, please press the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Press the subscribe button if you want to stay tuned for more. If you want to get alerted every single time that I go live, all you have to do is press the bell. Press the bell down below. You get alerted when I go live. So if you guys want to get alerts for the live stream, press that. Subscribe to the channel. Press the like button. if you want to join the Discord chat, and while I have you guys on live, if you want to check out the Options Insider website, go down to the description below. You will see the community. It'll say join Discord. That is the new website, Options Insider website. If you guys want to check that out, feel free. And yeah, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Happy Monday. And I will see you in the next live stream, or I'll just about to say hi to you in the Discord chat. So I'll see you later. Peace out, guys.